Hey you guys! Today we're going to talk about the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation Stick, and I'm reading off my phone here so I can give you guys like a rundown of the stats and the claims. So what exactly is this product? It's a long-wearing foundation stick with the coverage of a concealer, fluidity of a liquid, and weightlessness of a powder for invisible full coverage. It's a really interesting looking foundation. I heard some hype about it on YouTube, and here we are today. It's an angled triangle, and I find that to be unique and really helpful because it actually allows you to get into some of the kind of corners and really kind of sculpt around your face. I actually really like the shape of this, even though at first I thought it was probably just hype. This is $46. I bought mine at Sephora. You can choose from 26 shades, which it looks like it's a decent range of shades. It ranges from the shade Espresso, which is a deep cool undertone, all the way down to the shade Blanc, which is very fair with a cool undertone. I chose the shade Alabaster, which is a fair, cool undertone shade. It's, to be honest, not really the right shade for me. I was at a kind of small Sephora and they had only like 6 shade selections, so whatever. I'm still gonna use it, but just keep that in mind. Now for $46, this feels like an expensive, fancy people foundation. The first thing that I always have to take note on with a foundation is I have to put the cost of a foundation up to the amount of product you actually get. This is 0.25 ounces, which is really a lot less than you get with your average foundation. Like for example, I pulled up the Makeup Forever Water Blend Face and Body Foundation. You get 1.69 ounces of product. That's a lot more. The new Urban Decay All Nighter Liquid Foundation is 1 ounce of product. So yeah, let's be honest about that. That's not a lot of product for your money, but hey, it gets to the point where if a product really works for you, you can justify that. But let me tell you, for $46 for that little amount of product, this better be a miracle worker, right? Well, the truth is that in a way, it is pretty miraculous. When I was actually in Sephora, I did the old back of the hand thing and blended it out with the recommended brush. And really, I was very surprised with the finish. It covered like all the veins in my hand, which I don't even like saying the word vein. So if you're that way, I apologize. It covered all the blueness. So I bought it and, you know, tried it the next morning. And ultimately, I think the finish of this, the coverage of this, it's excellent. And it's unlike any other foundation I've actually tried. It's so silky and creamy once the little stick warms up on your skin. It's one of the better feeling foundations that I've ever tried. Now, there is a brush that they recommend you use with this, and it's the Hourglass Vanish Foundation Brush, which is $46. Truth be told, I do think that when I tried it in the store with the brush, it was a better finish. They really work together quite well, and I see what the deal is there. Like, I get it, but I am not a brush girl really. Spending like nearly $100 on just this little stick and a brush, I couldn't do it. But it's something that does get my stamp of approval. It does do a really good job of blending this out, but I would tend to say get an expensive foundation, go for a cheaper brush. I really like the Real Techniques ones. I chose to wear this on a really hot summer day where I was going to be out like walking around all day. And I was sweating and there were like water spray thingies. It was just all sorts of trials and tribulations for this foundation. I think it lasted quite well given the extreme torture I put it through. I'm not sure it's really the longest lasting foundation ever. I certainly have had longer wearing foundations. It wears nicely, if that makes any sense. It doesn't like patch off or like stick to dry spots at all. It wears off kind of evenly. Also, an added benefit is that it's really nice for touch-ups. It's something you can keep in your purse and just kind of dab on and touch up throughout the day. And since it kind of dries to a light powdery kind of look, it depends on your skin type, but for me, I have pretty dry skin and I would just bring this with like a beauty blender. I don't think powder's totally required unless you have really oily skin. Overall, I think this is a great multitasker. The fact that you can use it as a concealer, it has a really nice versatile finish, quite a few different skin types are gonna like this. Definitely if you're on a really dry side or really oily side, I think you're gonna have some issues with this. For somebody really, really dry, it will probably stick a little to your dry patches. And for somebody really, really oily, maybe look elsewhere for a foundation. I don't know, there's something about this that I don't think is gonna last for you. But seriously, let me know. I'm definitely interested about your skin type and if you've tried this and what you think about it. It's always helpful to get more opinions than just my own on here. If you'd like to see some DIYs, more reviews, and if you have any requests, let me know. I'm up for videos that you guys want to see. Hope you choose to stick with me, and I also hope to see you next week. Okay, bye guys.